Folks, I'm in the campground washing my clothing. I'm going to be reviewing this Lavario brand manual washer, available on Amazon. Link in description below. All right, this guy has lots of pros and cons, mostly, in my opinion, cons. Going to be a very good video review of this guy or girl, this thing. Okay, depending on if you're German or not. Okay, let's see. This washer is manually operated, which has the benefit you can bring it outside in a situation like this and operate it. Let me back up a second. And if you're in a situation like this in the campground, you want to preferably be more low profile than I am. Here everybody walks by and sees everything I'm doing. Some camp workers probably don't like draining this much water or whatever, but compared to campfires emitting lots of toxic smoke and people smoking cigarettes in their campsites and noise pollution, this is the least of concern. So you see these people, they look over here, they're very curious what I'm doing, making a video review. All right, so this thing has about 10-gallon water capacity. So you're going to use 10 gallons for washing, 10 gallons for rinsing, approximately. That's a lot of water if you're going to do it inside your RV. This is also good for tiny homes, apartments, maybe dormitory. Well, probably not dormitory, nowhere to drain. So some advantages: you don't have to go to a filthy laundromat and spend your money there dealing with all the drug addicts in the laundromat that are smoking cigarettes out right at the front door of the laundromat, and all that kind of stuff that goes on. Taking a bath in the sink. I've seen all that stuff in public laundromats. The washers have lots of hair and they stink. So my clothes have never smelled better since the last time I owned my own home, which I'm looking at achieving again shortly. Okay, this thing, let's keep on reviewing it. About 10 gallon fill up to about 1/3. Some advantages are it's convenient to use anywhere you have water and can drain it. You can use it as a clothes hamper when it's empty. You can put your clothes in there and don't have to have a separate hamper, which is really important in an RV, or especially a small one like that, a little 20-foot camper van. And the other advantage, you have more control of the access of your clothing. You can take the lid off and move your clothes around. It has a good capacity. This can wash a queen size blanket pretty easily. There's no right answer for what is the actual capacity, because it just depends on how much of a load you want to try to do per load. So the general rule I have is something like one large blanket, not a big comforter or anything like that, although you might be able to stuff maybe a twin size comforter in there. That still would be kind of challenging because it's so thick with so much polyester stuffing in it. That kind of thing wouldn't be appropriate. Maybe something like 2 or 3 pants, about maybe 4 or 5 shirts. That gives you a pretty good idea what the capacity is. Operation: push up and down. If you pull it up very high and push down really fast, it splashes out. That's another con. So you want to start pushing down at about the water level if you're going to be doing some aggressive water pushing like that. And the water looks dirty, but that's the color of my laundry detergent. So that's another thing too. It's hard to tell how well you're cleaning your clothes when the detergent has a color itself and causes it to be some kind of a gray shade. I know that because no matter what I do, even if it's just water in there alone, it's going to be that color with, as long as it has detergent. The lid operates such that you have optionally a pin to put in here. I recommend a tent stake instead, because this is not ergonomic. It kind of hurts your finger to push on this thing. And I also drilled the hole a little bigger so the pin will stay in and easier to put in and out. Also, there's only one hole. I'm gonna eventually drill a hole in each spot so I can put the pin in anywhere and not have to try to figure out where the existing hole is. Operation, it's your discretion how many times you want to push up and down, whether you want to let it sit there for an hour or 5 days or just quickly drain it out. That's up to you. There's no right or wrong answer to that. The drain, it idiotically comes with a plastic screw cap that you screw into it that can easily cross thread. It's very difficult, cumbersome to deal with, especially down here at the bottom. So I recommend this valve. It's a 1/2 inch valve. I'll have link in the description, or you can go to your local hardware store to get one of these. I believe it's the standard 1/2 inch. So you're going to need it to be female on at least one side, and so it drains out like that. This is way, way, way far better than the stupid cap that the manufacturer includes, which is totally ridiculous. The manufacturer flaunts how intelligently engineered it is. Well, it's really not. It's just a bucket with a handle you push your stuff up and down with. But I still recommend it because I don't know of anything better to use at this time. The handle is not ergonomic. It should be comfortable to grip, but it's not. It's awkwardly shaped. It's just not designed for your hand, and it kind of captures dirt debris in there because of these ribs. The price you're paying is kind of high, so these materials really should be some kind of aluminum or titanium, and so it wouldn't have to be so strangely designed like this with a big lip on top. That lip causes bulkiness of the washer, but it does afford for handles on both sides so you can lift it around, but that would be awfully heavy with a water load in there. Now I'm draining it, getting ready to do the rinse cycle. Look at this redwood tree in the campsite. Look at this thing. They get up to about 350 feet high. This is in north of San Francisco. Relative to me, look how big this tree is. That's one of the largest ones right there. I don't know if you consider that a single tree. It's all connected. Wow, it's 4 of them. This is amazing. Look at it relative to the size of my RV. It dwarfs it. Here's another comparison. Now I'm going to show you where inside I do laundry if I'm at a campsite where there's nowhere practical to do it outside. I have a 7-inch high dog pool, link in the description. So I also use this for a shower, and I'll make a separate video about that. And here's my water, same kind of valve to get water from the current. I have a 40-gallon water tank, 50-gallon water tank in there. For a dryer, I recommend this high-speed spin dryer, and what I do is I have it drain into there, and special valve there that goes underneath the vehicle. I'll have separate video on the spin dryer because a problem with the washer is that the instructions say put your clothes underneath this basket and push down to dry your clothes. No, that's not how you dry your clothes. You really need a spin dryer. You cannot adequately wring your clothes by using the instructions provided by the manufacturer of this, because in doing so your clothes are still going to be soaking wet and they're going to be needing to be hung up for a very long time. And so this spin dryer, Panda brand, is 3,600 RPM, and it will dry the clothes really well, but still require just a tiny bit of hanging up. And so I have, in the camper van, I have these. I broke off the whatever they had on top to hang up, and so I fastened them directly to the ceiling of the camper van. These are aluminum that have really tight clips, and the plastic ones are easier to deal with. I was just trying to get something more tan colored, so these gold tan colored ones I don't like as much as the plastic ones. A rare case where metal I don't like over plastic in this case. All right, here's a view of the shower and the washer position inside the camper van. I just put it next to the plumbing sink. So this actually blocks the inside and out of the sliding door access, which is fine with me, because that sliding door is really difficult to deal with, and it is a hazard to pets. If they get caught in that while you slam the door, you could kill or seriously injure them. So I just go in and out the driver's side or passenger side door instead. Again, separate videos about this shower that works really well, inside shower. And then I have a 4-gallon electric water heater there. All this stuff, separate videos. Your comments are welcome. Any suggestions, anything I can do better, complaints, grievances, compliments, constructive feedback is more preferred though. Thank you. Oh, let me show you filling it up. It's actually kind of quick. Oh, I gotta close the valve first. I'm not going to show the whole filling up. I said it's quick, but it still takes a few minutes. But to get 10 gallons like that, it doesn't take but a short time. And then for the rinse cycle, you just, here, let me fill it up. The rinse cycle, very similar to wash, just fill it up 3/4 of the way, do some pumping action, and then let the water out. Hope this is very helpful for you. For those who are in an RV without an inside shower, or even with an inside shower, this next one of these upcoming videos should be really helpful, because even if you have an inside shower, usually they're too small, and this is a bigger solution.